Hello and welcome to this lecture. This lecture will be the continuation of a couple of previous lecture while we were making this beautiful tic-tac-toe game. So we did something that was just implementing this board logic, that is winner method and is board full. That was the method that we just implemented in the previous lecture. So we'll just make use of that function in this player, which is basically in our game logic. So first of all, here after just the turn is of computer, let us remove this, and in here after the player make a move, I'll check if the winner is player or not. So I'll just say is winner, which is our function, and it should take a board and it should also take a player later, which is basically, if you see in this is winner method, you could see bo is for board and l is for later, and we have seen this how the player, any computer or any player, can be winner if they occupied any row or column or any diagonal. So let's go down again here, and I'll say if it is the case that the player later is occupied, or the cell occupied all the player later, that means we'll say draw board first, that is calling this draw board with the board. And next thing is to print the message to the user, that is hooray. Let me say hooray, you have won the game. Let's print this down, and I'll say game, that is this loop game is playing, should be false now. So it should be game is playing, basically it should be false, and that means we have to terminate from this loop. So if it is not the case, what if we have here, that is in else part, what if the player is not winner, or basically it is not the case that the player has a chance to just win the game, that means the else part should check. So in the else part, we'll say if board is full. So we'll just check for if the board is full, and it should be given the board over here. And if it is the case, we'll just firstly draw the board, which is by using this method, and the board should be provided over here. And next is we'll just print that is the game is tie. So it should be case that the game will be tie over here. And let's go again over here and just close this down. And the next thing is to just break from the game. So if the game is tie, just break it from there and you are good to go. So next thing what you can do here is we'll just make the same move for the computer. So just go down here. So before that, if this is the case, if the board is full, if it is not full, then the turn should be given for the computer. So I'll say just give a turn for computer over here. So after that, we have to just implement the same method, that is winner and is board full method in the computer turn. So first of all, we'll just check if is winner, that is the same method, and just pass here the board, which is basically our board, and a computer later to check for the winner. And if it is the winner, then what you're gonna say is we have to first draw board, and in this draw board we'll just pass the board in order to draw, and we'll just print the message to the user, that is the computer has beaten you. And I'll say you lose. Just print this down to the user. Next is to just say game is playing should be now false, as we have to just get out of this loop again if the computer wins. And the next thing is to check for the else part. If the computer is not a winner, that means we have to first check if the board is full or not. So if the board is full, that means the game is tie again. So if it is the case that the board is full and the winner is not a player, that means the game is tie over here. So we'll first draw the board as usual, and we'll just print the message to the user that the game is tie over here. And we'll just break off this else statement or if else statement, and in this else what you're gonna do is we'll just make a turn to swap back to the player. So it is the way just to implement the game logic. So we have completed all of the code part. So next thing what you can do here is we'll just check it once again. So you can just save this down and just hit F5 in order to play. So it is saying that you have an indentation problem here, obviously. So let's save this down again and print this. So do you want to be X or O? I'll say X. And is winner is not defined. So let's go back there. Where was is winner? So this was because this W should be capital, and here we should put the copy first as a board and computer later. I'll just pass the computer later. You can just save this down again and print it. So you could see X or O, I'll say X. And if I just put X here, then the computer will go first. And computer has already assigned the O over here. So I'll just say now, I'll just put in this 5th position. Let me just go in 5th. Then you could see X is in the 5th here. And let me just resize over here. And what if I just take a next move, as computer has already taken the move for this 7th position. So let me say I just want to go for 6. So it has said that computer has won because you lose. So the program has told us that the computer has beaten you, you lose. Basically all this first column is occupied by the O, which is basically our computer. So computer has beaten us, and this message has printed to the user. So this will be the wrap for this section. You can play around with this game and make a beautiful UI for this game, as this is really interesting game. So see you in the next section.